Well, welcome to Let's Talk Showbiz here on Joy News on Multi TV. I am a bit excited, but I'm a bit sad because sometimes I hate it when I have to come and tell you about a musician or somebody who is sick. That's because maybe a day after, usually the news that I hear is either the person has passed on or something, and today is a typical example. I'll share with you right here on the show, and also what has musician Patapaa been up to? I mean, the last time we heard from him was Obetu Due Monday, and then we also heard at Ghana Meets Niger when he came to perform that beautiful performance. So today, my colleague Miss G caught up with him. We'll bring you details on that. And Akese Brimpong is also in the news. That's a gospel musician as well. My name is Doreen Avio, and the show is Let's Talk Showbiz.
Let's Talk Showbiz.
Now, if you just joined me, this is Let's Talk Showbiz right here on Joy News on Multi TV, and I'm Doreen Avio. So today I'm also starting on a sad note again. So 2 days ago, I brought you news about soul singer Aretha Franklin, that she was at the hospital on her hospital bed and she was being surrounded by family and loved ones. Then on yesterday, we brought you news that she was better, and she was getting better. So then we also heard that there was a vigil which was being held in her honor in the Tura. That's where she comes from. And then today, the bad news is that the soul singer has passed on at age 76. So Aretha Franklin has died at age 76. And it's rather unfortunate, but she was a great musician. I loved her music, and it's so sad to hear that she's no more.
Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, who became the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, has died in Detroit at the age of 76. The legendary singer was diagnosed with cancer in 2010 and announced last year she was retiring from music. Known for hits like Respect and Think, she had more than 20 US #1s over a career spanning 7 decades. She gave a final performance last November at a gala in New York held in aid of the Elton John AIDS Foundation. Born in Memphis to a gospel singer and a celebrated Baptist preacher, Franklin was tutored from an early age by such gospel stars as Mahalia Jackson and Clara Ward. She struggled to find fame in the early years, with record label Columbia unsure how to frame her impressively powerful voice. Sir Elton John led the tributes on his Instagram account, writing, "The loss of Aretha Franklin is a blow for everybody who loves real music." Annie Lennox said she has resigned supreme and will always be held in the highest firmament of stars as the most exceptional vocalist, performer, and recording artist the world has ever been privileged to witness. May her soul rest in perfect peace. Let's Talk Showbiz.
All right, so that is the news on Aretha Franklin, the soul singer. She was loved by all, and there's so much to talk about her. We're going to start today, but may her soul rest in perfect peace.
Let's Talk Showbiz.
Straight to gospel musician Akese Brimpong. Well, he's okay if government should start charging churches for taxes, but he says that if they should do, they should actually target the ones who are using the church for business purposes. So churches, if you're using your church, or pastors, they're using your church for business purposes, Akese Brimpong says the government should come for you.
Why is the church not paying taxes in the first place? If we can establish that, then we can go into why the church should pay tax now.
Well, but don't you think it's because of what they are seeing now, people using the church for business and all of that? That's why they thought, okay, then let's just have a general tax for the church.
So let the people that are using the church for business pay taxes. You know, the church is not a business entity, and if people are, we don't have to generalize that the, people are using the church for business. So the church must pay taxes. In the first place, we as a nation decided that churches must not pay taxes. Why did we decide that churches mustn't pay taxes? Is the church deviating from that? We need to come back to the table and see if there are churches that are using the church as businesses. We identify them and let them pay taxes for the business ventures that they are engaged in. I believe that we don't have to generalize on this issue at all. In the first place, we want to establish why the nation thought churches shouldn't pay taxes, and also examine whether the church is deviating from that. Then we can make a conclusion that all churches must pay taxes. Or we look at the people, the churches, the churches that we can establish that are using the church for business, purposes, and they pay the tax.
But what do we do to some of these churches? I'm sure you watch around and there are lots of things going on. Some I wouldn't even want to mention. But what can we do? How can the church as a body deal with some of these things? Because it's given a bad name to, the Christian, domain.
Sometimes even the trouble that comes our way has a way of propelling the gospel itself. I believe that there's a separation of wheat and tares going on right now. The Lord does His work. He doesn't need anybody to defend the gospel. And if we think that this issue has the capacity to break the frontier of the church, I don't think it can ever break the frontier of the church. In fact, if you're a student of the Bible, you know that even when persecution came to the apostles and they were divided and people thought that was the end of the propagation of the gospel, God through the division sent the gospel to the nations. You get what I'm saying? And so whatever happens to the church, the head of the church knows what's going on, and he will use it for his good.
Let's talk showbiz.
Now let's move straight to Patapisi Todwe on air Monday, and that was an interview he had with Miss G after the VGMAs. Then we also caught up with him at Ghana Meets Niger. Yes, he also gave a beautiful performance on stage that day. And since then, we haven't really heard much from Patapaa. So today, my colleague Miss G caught up with him to find out what he's been up to and what he is doing at the moment in terms of music.
The man who gets everyone talking and excited in Ghana ever since his One Corner song drop, Patapaa, is the one I'm going to be speaking to now. And I remember that interview at the Music Awards where he told me that Obetu Udri air. It went so viral, and ever since then your life has never been the same. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay, so let's recount what happened. That interview, it went so viral. I'm sure you saw it yourself.
Yeah.
And how did you feel about that?
Oh, I feel good because I know that it's going to happen, because that very time I verse and I have to speak. Yeah. Because if anything wrong or anything happens to you, you have to speak out or verse out. Tell people that you are not happy of that kind of things.
But do you think that speaking out that day really has helped?
Oh, wow.
Because we are the only people you granted an interview, and that interview went viral. And after that, I've seen that there's been progress upon progress. You won the 3 music awards. There's been progress after that, voicing out.
That one is true. And at the same time, so we catch us over to day, so also training fine. Yeah. If I must say, what me as I change in a fancy because fancy the market show that out. Yeah. And so one because me jala and I'm person my glance interview but someone say joy for the joy.
It helped me a lot. Initially, I didn't want to grant any interviews because I was furious, but out of respect for the Joy brand, I did.
You went ahead to do a song. Was it you that did the song, or somebody did the song and then you?
Me say jala and me voices be on, and I read them was me engineer no yeah. On Sibia lie or the air track, say no, I see at the out. Na send and so train aquafa. And to me, say, me that will be in instant when I'm.
I decided to record the song Ye Jalai because I was angry and hurt. And when I'm hurt by someone or something, I easily get inspired to record songs. And because I am talented, it doesn't come as a struggle. So whoever hurts me will get a song in reply.
But talent what the man and yaman ababe for book. It's been a talent from God. Yeah, and say obi obeya de be me ya obi ano. Me pese me reply na ndum na nbe ma no. Yeah. to wash a kum church say that day and I do not meet with him to know Papa we me and she mean
Let's talk showbiz.
This morning, Beyonce, in her own words, discussing everything from motherhood and marriage to issues with her body. The superstar opening up like never before, making history on the cover of Vogue's September issue. The singer hiring the first African-American cover photographer in the magazine's 126-year history, 23-year-old Tyler Mitchell behind the lens. Beyonce, who chose a more natural look for the shoot, revealing her personal struggles with body image following the birth of her first child, Blue Ivy, who's now 6 years old. She says, I believed in the things society said about how my body should look. I put pressure on myself to lose all the baby weight in 3 months and scheduled a small tour to assure I would do it. Looking back, that was crazy. But the 36-year-old mother of 3 says she now embraces her curves, attributing the change to complications during her pregnancy with twins Rumi and Sir. Beyonce explaining, I was 218 pounds the day I gave birth to Rumi and Sir. I was swollen from toxemia and had been on bed rest for over a month. My health and my baby's health were in danger, so I had an emergency C-section. The star says she took 6 months off to recover, and during that time, she accepted what her body wanted to be. Adding, I have a little mommy pouch and I'm in no rush to get rid of it. I think it's real. Whenever I'm ready to get a six-pack, I will go into beast zone. But right now, my little fupa and I feel like we are meant to be. Beyonce also discussing how her marriage to rapper Jay-Z survived infidelity. Jay-Z opening up about his unfaithfulness last November.
The hardest thing is seeing pain on someone's face that you caused and then have to deal with yourself.
Coiled deep was the need to know. Are you?
That'll be it for Let's Talk Showbiz today's edition. I'm Doreen Avian. Remember to log on to myjoyonline.com for more of our stories. The name again is Doreen Avian. Do have a wonderful evening.